Hello Star Seekers. This is Jeannie from Horoscope Forecasts 369. Whether you're an Aries or a Pisces, we're here to guide you. Let's cut through the cosmic noise and dive into today's horoscope predictions. Thursday, July 20th, 2023. The astrology of today, all signs. The Sun forms a trine to Neptune this morning, encouraging us to let go and let things flow. This transit brings a fluid, graceful energy to the day. We readily access our intuition, and we can be moved to help, support, or give of ourselves. We would do well to de-emphasize some of our material concerns or interests, at least temporarily. We see people and life itself from a different perspective, one that not only allows for but finds beauty in differences. However, the Mars-Saturn opposition this afternoon is far less forgiving. If we press too hard, we can meet with blocks. Instead of tripping over ourselves attempting to push things that require more time, we should slow down, discipline ourselves, and consider the practical angles. We may need to manage a reality check or slow down. General conditions or people can appear to stand in the way of progress or discourage us from seeking our desires, which can cause resentment or frustration. We're getting the message that we are moving too quickly, and drawing on patience will work to our benefit. It's not easy to assert ourselves directly, or our assertions meet with a brick wall. Our desire to act and constructively express our aggressive urges feels thwarted or blocked. With waning motivation, we might find it particularly hard to get through our routines. At this time, we may recognize the need to adopt a humbler, more mature, or more conservative approach. Ideally, once we gain a stronger sense of reality, we can rebuild our enthusiasm. The moon is void from 10:09 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, with the moon's last aspect before changing signs, a conjunction to Venus, until the moon enters Virgo at 1:13 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Today's Aries horoscope. While the morning is strong for forgiveness and reflection, dear Aries, today's Mars-Saturn opposition along your service axis can present some complications. Circumstances might alert you to areas of life where you've been moving too quickly or haven't considered what's best for you in the long term. The challenge may be to convince yourself that you have the right to relax. Consider incorporating more time in your routine for attention to your inner world and mental health. Pressures to perform and excel are with you, but you need to make regular time for rest. While it can seem that the momentum is broken, it is more likely a necessary slowdown that's also quite temporary. It's more about taking care of your emotional life and inner world, even in the face of pressures and demands of the outside world. Clear your mind of guilt and avoid focusing your frustration on minor problems for the best results. Today's Taurus horoscope. While you're looking for stress relief and more personal enjoyment today, dear Taurus, with a Mars-Saturn aspect in play, you might feel stifled creatively or temporarily blocked or confined. Temporarily, expressing yourself freely may not come easily, or it may seem to attract negative feedback. Instead, challenges could be related to a group endeavor or friendship, especially if you attempt to steer them in a different direction. Whatever the case, the matter requires patience. You'll do best for yourself if you manage to pace yourself and deal with whatever delay or rule needs your attention first and foremost. Also, aim to recognize the need to focus on your current responsibilities before seeking new horizons. Concessions you make now can ultimately help you reduce stress and pressure. Today's Gemini horoscope. There can be more activity in your personal or home life, dear Gemini, with Mars transiting your home and family sector. Mars opposes Saturn today, however, and you may be facing a snag in your plans or an obstacle in your path. This may take the form of a responsibility that temporarily puts your domestic plans on hold. Or disapproval plays with your motivation or enthusiasm for a project. People may be taking things a little too personally today, and trying to get the timing right. For example, if it's about getting someone to go along with your ideas, is an exercise in futility. It can be tempting to fight against restrictions, but slowing down will likely serve your long-term interests better. You might also discover that you can enjoy some active downtime, and this can be a way to satisfy both your need for rest and action. Today's Cancer horoscope. While some things are smoothing out in your life, dear Cancer, today's Mars-Saturn opposition can introduce a temporary delay or slowdown. With this transit, the more you push, the more resistance you meet. A discouraging remark or criticism might throw off your thinking, or an obstacle can appear, slowing you down. Getting others to go along with your plans can be difficult, but even if people are willing, things may give you problems, mechanical problems, computer issues, communication breakdowns, and other such issues could seem to set you back. Watch for focusing on the short term rather than the big picture. If you feel hemmed in or stifled from expressing yourself, consider that the actions you take to correct things may very well redirect your attention to essential details. Further, you can benefit much from centering yourself. Scattering your energy is not the answer, since you may end up doing many things, but none of them especially well. Today's Leo horoscope. Your emotions are settling with the moon's move into your resources sector today, dear Leo. But with a Mars-Saturn opposition today, purchases, projects, or business pursuits may face a restriction or obstacle. It's also possible that this transit aggravates a disagreement. Obligations and responsibilities tend to emerge, and these slow you down. Ultimately, it may be better for you to do so, and exercising patience can have its rewards, although they may not yet be apparent. Accept that you cannot charge ahead with your plans for now. While you appreciate quick decisions, today's energies can have you wondering what's your next move, or you may struggle with weighing your options for far longer than feels comfortable. It's best to look for the middle ground. As well, there are real benefits to putting in the effort to build and develop something important to you. Energy and motivation levels will rebuild and increase the more inspired you feel, so take this time to dream and gather your resources or seek out inspiration. Today's Virgo horoscope. You may be facing some disapproval or blocks today, dear Virgo, as Mars in your sign opposes Saturn. For example, special someone in your life can be overly serious, critical, or otherwise in your way. Mars has been pumping you up with its transit of your sign, reminding you of your independent streak, and someone may feel a little left out. Instead, circumstances can seem to block your progress, or you get a general sense that people around you are conservative, unsympathetic, or raining on your parade now. Whatever the case, finding a real outlet for your desire to do something new and exciting can be challenging. A compromise may be your best bet, and slowing down can help you reorient yourself. If you've taken on too many commitments lately, you could now feel drained. Today may simply be a reminder that you should attend to projects already in place before zipping ahead and taking on more. Today's Libra horoscope. Your desire to connect with others is strong, dear Libra, but you have a private streak these days. It can be particularly difficult to integrate these things right now. Today's Mars-Saturn opposition can serve as a reminder of certain rules, obstacles, or realities. It's a time for slowing or buckling down and attending to minor problems or motivation issues. You might feel a bit put upon by others, as people may be leaning on you a little too heavily these days. A significant someone could be stubborn or unyielding. Be as patient as you possibly can be when it comes to following rules. Keep your goals in mind. If daily routines are difficult to get through, consider thinking about what you're working towards rather than focusing too heavily on the monotony of what needs to be handled to get there. Even though you can feel a little stuck right now, and it isn't easy to see, you are moving forward. Today's Scorpio horoscope. Today's Mars-Saturn opposition asks you to slow down or reminds you of obligations that need your attention, dear Scorpio. Disapproval coming from someone in your life could have a similar discouraging effect. Impulsive, impatient, and rash moves are unlikely to lead to rewards with this transit in play. You may feel torn between your personal life and demands from friends or associates. But while reaching a compromise can seem difficult now, it's probably the best solution to problems. Saturn serves as a reminder not to take on more initiatives before finishing what you've already started. Mustering up patience if plans are delayed is your best bet. Creative outlets can be especially satisfying, however. It's a good time to remind yourself of your overarching goals. Today's Sagittarius horoscope. A Mars-Saturn opposition today can point to the need to slow down to catch your breath, dear Sagittarius, or it may suggest your attention is needed at home or with family. You may very well be torn between dealing with a personal matter and outside demands. There can be a reality to face or a delay that you hadn't anticipated. An obstacle can be frustrating if it breaks the momentum, but it might ultimately be good for you, especially if you've been pushing too hard. Aim to do what truly needs doing and avoid wasting precious time stressing over things you can't change. While you'd rather jump on opportunities, you may need to pace yourself and wait for real or better leads. It may be that the more creative or inspiring your work, the more productive you'll be right now. Today's Capricorn horoscope. A Mars-Saturn aspect across your communication sectors today can produce a delay or frustration, dear Capricorn. Something may discourage you or slow you down. Consider that, with this transit in play, the more you push, the stronger the resistance. You might be tied down by mundane activities, correcting errors, errands, chores, and other responsibilities you hadn't anticipated or put out of your mind. If you've neglected problem areas, they may demand your attention now. While today's obstacles seem to break the momentum, the workarounds that result can draw your attention to areas that need correcting. Ultimately, things work in your favor. Look for a balance between freedom and comfort, even if it means reducing or cutting out some activities. As well, certain people can be inspirational and supportive now. Today's Aquarius horoscope. With Mars and Saturn opposing one another today, dear Aquarius, responsibilities or duties can pull you out of your private world, bringing you back down to earth. There can be a clash of values or boundaries or problems related to possessiveness in a relationship. Common sense and instincts can be at war, but after wrestling with an issue, you could discover that you can wait for something a little longer. Financial disagreements can also figure strongly now. The need to pace yourself becomes apparent if you've been pushing your boundaries. Consider conserving your energy for what truly matters. If you do, you'll be better positioned to let your intuition kick in, drawing you to activities that help you overcome problems, heal, or pursue a dream. Today's Pisces horoscope. While the morning's energies are rather free and breezy, dear Pisces, Saturn in your sign opposes Mars in your partnership sector, introducing complications or blocks. This transit can conflict with a significant someone or a general sense that people and circumstances around you seem chaotic or out of your control. Others may push and prod you, or they pull your attention away from what you want to do the most. While you may need to draw boundaries, it's probably better to tone down criticisms. Watch for being restrictive with people you care about. It's also best to recognize where you may be pushing your limits. Aim to be open to opportunities to connect with someone special or to come up with fabulous ideas and conclusions. As we wrap up, I'm Jeannie thanking you for tuning in to Horoscope Forecasts 369. Remember, these are guides, but your will shapes your destiny. Like, share, subscribe for more astro insights, and let the stars guide you until we meet again. Take care.